Hey everybody, it's your friend and your guy, Gardiner. This is the coolest smartwatch I've ever used. And if this video is too long for you, just know it's a cute and competent, if niche, smartwatch. It's everything I want from a wearable, and that means it probably won't be a good fit for the average person. Let me explain. Back in June, I pre-ordered the Pebble Time 2, the long-awaited follow-up to the Pebble line of smartwatches. A brand that people thought was dead. Now, I never owned a Pebble, but I had always really wanted one, so the announcement of a new Pebble device truly caught my attention. And not being the kind of guy who takes a gamble on a new and unproven company that often, I decided to wait. Once devices started landing in people's hands and the consensus was mostly positive, I got in line for my Pebble 2, and I got it right here. Now, getting started with the Pebble Time 2 was an absolute breeze. You just install the open source app on your phone. In this case, it's GPL3 licensed. Then you give the app the requisite permissions it needs, and then confirm the pairing with your watch. Boom, it's that easy. You don't need a Google account to kick off the pairing process, unlike my Fitbit 2. Now, people might be saying, why do you care about having a Google account or not with a device? Well, it's because I don't trust Google and I don't want them having any of my biometric data. So let's talk about the design for a second, because the design here is terrific. And first and foremost, it's not an enormous, gaudy chunk of glass and metal precariously mounted to my wrist. No, this thing is sleek, it is elegant, it is understated, and it comes with all of the charm and retro aesthetic of like a Casio digital watch from my childhood, yet with some modern upgrades and a professional fit and finish. It comes in 4 colorways. Now, I opted for the black and gray variant here, which I feel is the classiest personally, though I also do like the silver and gray. If you, as a casual observer on the street, didn't know that I was wearing a smartwatch, it wouldn't really jump out as one. I've used many smartwatches before, and always, the silicone band just pulls on my arm hairs. This one is really not that bad. And because of that, it's actually, surprisingly, a good band to wear. It's also easily replaceable with any standard 22mm quick release strap. Now, I've been eyeing a few, and I actually bought this one recently. I would love some suggestions in the comments of straps that you like to use. They don't even have to be for the Pebble Time 2. As long as they're a 22mm quick release strap, they will work. The last big piece of the physical puzzle is the screen. So let's get into it, because I have a lot to say. It's large with a minimal bezel. The screen's glass sits slightly proud of the housing by a few millimeters. This has led to reports of the screen breaking among some enthusiasts, though Eric and his team have said that this has only led to about 50 or so devices needing to be replaced. It is a bit of a concern for me. I'm looking into 3D printing some kind of way to, keep this secure and not smashing. Now, while I'm out in direct sunlight, the screen sings. I can't fully describe how wonderful this looks in daylight, so I'll just show you. Direct sunlight makes e-paper pop, and it is an e-paper display. Don't confuse that with e-ink. They are 2 entirely different technologies. To put it succinctly, this screen looks like an LCD minus the persistent backlight, but with a mirror behind the display. That's really how it feels to me. I don't know if that's actually how it works. Colors are fairly muted, and there's only 64 of them. There's very little in the way of contrast either, but it looks amazing under the right light. The screen is less OLED and more Game Boy Color, complete with a 200 by 228 resolution, and that's fine. In fact, I love it that way. It absolutely sips power. Apps and watch faces are built with this limitation in mind, and it has everything it needs where it counts. Well, in dark environments, it's impossible to read this screen without the backlight. In my first 24 hours with the Pebble Time 2, I found this really disappointing. However, I quickly learned how to actually use this thing. A quick and deliberate flick of the wrist will actually turn the backlight on. And if you have the other hand free, a double tap of the screen or a press of any button will do the same thing. And when I flick my wrist, it's actually a pretty natural gesture. And it works almost every time that I try to do it, although that time it decided not to. There we go. The always-on display doesn't seem to have any perceptible impact on the battery life, which I really like. I've been using this device for 8 days already, and I'm still at around 63% battery life. Meanwhile, my old Fitbit would use about 1% of battery anytime the AMOLED display was activated for more than a second. I need to mention that while the battery life is impressive, with the features that I personally have enabled, I am nowhere near on track to actually hit the advertised 30-day battery that Pebble lists on their website. My experience tells me that if I completely disable the backlight or remove most of the apps, I might get close to 30 days of usage here, but it feels like that would make the Pebble Time 2 far less usable, if not entirely unusable, at least the way I want to use it. What will use up the battery, and quite quickly I might add, is the screen's RGB backlight. Yeah, RGB. While I haven't seen any rainbow breathing patterns for this thing, the backlight's color is fully customizable from within the companion app. Kinda neat, I guess, but I prefer a static, neutral to warm white for mine. Plus, the aforementioned low saturation of the screen's colors means that any strongly tinted backlight will make the colors basically illegible. Now, this watch ships with a little magnetic charger, this guy right here, and it's the same actual connector of its older brother. Note to self, do not lose this. Charging takes just a few minutes, though keep in mind I've really only charged this device once since I unboxed it. The charging adapter also comes with a little lanyard so that you can, hang it on a keychain or maybe hang it on like your luggage or something where, you're gonna be carrying it around, a backpack perhaps. Put it somewhere with your everyday carry, right? Let's talk about the software though. Pebble OS, which is open source under the Apache 2.0 license, has incredibly cute animations that give the device a level of both charm and polish. They're unique to Pebble OS and feel somewhat Looney Tunes-esque. I've never seen anything quite like the animations here. They seem to be dynamic, and icons look to be animated in real time, and I would be surprised if these had bespoke animations. Now let's talk about some other parts of the software, like the timeline. This is a super neat feature, and it's one that I never really knew that I needed. It's also one that I hope will gain new features and become even more useful over time. From your watch face, you can press the down button to scroll to today in the timeline, and it will show you today as it stands. It will also let you scroll through the next 2 days worth of events, and it's great to wake up first thing in the morning and see a quick summary of your day. With a screen that doesn't, immediately assault your eyes. This will pull in your Google Calendar, or presumably on iOS, your iCloud Calendar events. It will also show other things like sunrise or sunset or reminders or alarms that you've set for yourself. It shows weather forecasts for your location and more. Now, I've asked the dev team to support CalDAV compatible calendars because I much prefer Proton or Nextcloud over Google, and they said that that's actually a planned feature going forward. All right, let's talk about health tracking. I have a Fitbit Sense 2, and I have hated it since day one. It's ugly, it requires a Google account, it's artificially limited, and the screen was AMOLED, which is the opposite of healthy as far as I'm concerned. So when the Pebble Time 2 was announced, with its sleep tracking, its heart rate monitor, 6 gyros, and e-paper display, I was really excited. Admittedly, the Pebble Time 2 isn't billed as a fitness tracker. Core Devices says that if you want a fitness tracker, you should buy a Garmin instead. I kind of love that self-effacing and realistic approach to talking about the product. But it's also got everything that I need for fitness tracking, while also having all the watchitude that I want. When I go for a run, I just hold the up button, which I have mapped to the run activity, and then I press the up button again to start it. It continuously tracks my heart rate, and I have a blast. I can then review my heart rate data in the health screen of the app. I can see my averages, whatever. Now you can see your biometrics on a daily, weekly, and monthly scale, and it's pretty neat in my book. You can also totally hide this tab in the app or turn off all of these features completely on your watch to save battery life if you don't want to use them. The flexibility here is amazing, and it's a refreshing throwback to the early 2010s approach to gadgetry, one that respects your autonomy and keeps you completely in the driver's seat. So the Pebble Time 2 is an open source watch that is standards compliant, and it leaves me 100% in charge of my experience with this device. That immediately sets the Pebble Time 2 apart from all of its competition. To me, it's best in class. The e-paper display is more energy efficient, not to mention healthier to look at. The companion app is 100% open source. The operating system is 100% open source. The community is amazing. The device is just fun to use. The Pebble Time 2 is the most gadgety gadget the market has seen in ages. It's not trying to sell your watch's screen to advertisers. It's not looking to exfiltrate your health information and weaponize it against your mind. It's not trying to make you addicted to a never-ending feed of algorithmic slop. It's not trying to sap your attention with rage bait. It's just a watch that gives you control. It puts the smart back in smartwatch. The king is back, and it's here to stay. But the question is, will the Luddite consumers who want something that just works see the value in this, or will the display feel too dated for consumers' tastes? Given the pace of development and the relative affordability of the new Pebble devices, I'm hopeful, though it is still admittedly a small batch product. We just need to make sure that there are resources available, like my website, the Bryant Review, to help people have more fun with their devices again and reclaim their digital autonomy.